So we are on Unit 5, Day 3 notes. Your objectives are here. And we're basically going to be graphing, talking about X and Y intercepts, graphing using X and Y intercepts, and solving for X to find X and Y intercepts. So we're doing a lot of that those type of problems this day notes. First and foremost, you graphing X equals and Y equals. These are the most, for some reasons, give people problems, but if you understand the process, or if you understand that with X equals, so this is your X line and this is your Y line. Okay, so this is your X line. With X equal, it's going to be a vertical line at -8. So it's going to actually cross the X axis. Okay, that is what your X equals -8 looks like. Excuse me. So at -8, your line is going to cross the X axis at X equals -8. So that's how you'll know that that is X equals -8. It crosses the X axis. So here with your Y equals at +8, it crosses the Y axis at +8, a straight horizontal line that crosses the Y axis at 8. So at 8, you're going to cross the Y axis. That is Y equals 8. Okay, so you'll know it's X equals if it crosses. If it's a straight line, vertical line that crosses the X axis, you know that it's X equals. If it's a horizontal line that crosses the Y axis, it's going to be Y equals. Okay, so with this line down here, and it would be really, really nice if you all would kind of print it out and then work on these worksheets with me. It kind of helps if you do that. But find the X-intercept and Y-intercept. So this is your Y. Okay, this is your Y. This is your X. The X is this line. The Y is that line. If it touches the Y or crosses the Y, that's your Y-intercept. So in this case, your Y-intercept, okay, is going to be, it looks like it crosses at 2, +2. So with Y-intercept, X is always 0. 0, 2 is your Y-intercept. Okay, X is always 0 in Y-intercept. For X-intercept, you should know Y is always 0. Okay, so in this case, you see how it crosses this line here? It crosses at 1. Okay, if it crosses at 1, 1 is your X-intercept, 1, 0. So Y-intercept, X is always 0, X-intercept, Y is always 0. And then with the number it crosses is what you'll put for your X and Y. Because remember, this is your X, this is your Y. X, Y. Okay, let's move on to the next page here. Again, X-intercepts and Y-intercepts they're asking you for here. Okay, no, that light usually, if I turn the line on, it causes a glare. So this says find your X and Y intercepts. Again, your Y is here. So this would be your Y-intercept. For Y-intercept, as we said earlier, X is always 0. So this looks like it crosses at 1. So 0, 1 is your Y-intercept. X-intercept, Y is always 0. So the number here is 1, 2, 3, 4. -4. -4 is your X-intercept. Okay, so that is your answer. Now we're going to do the starred problems here. Find the X-intercept and Y-intercept of the line. In this line, it says X -4, Y equals -4. Okay, kind of hard to read there. So for this situation, what you're going to do for X-intercept, like I said, Y equals 0. So here, in place of Y, X -4, in place of Y, we're going to make it 0. Because just like I said earlier, for X-intercept, Y is always 0. Equals -4. Okay? So, of course, that kind of cancels out, becomes 0. X minus 0 is just X. So your X-intercept is -4. Okay, and how would you put that as a point? -4, 0. Okay, for X-intercept. And it depends on Alex. However they may want you to say X is -4 is your X-intercept, but this is the point that it would be, -4, 0. Okay, Y is always 0. For y-intercept, we said x is always 0. So this same equation, I'm going to put 0 in for x. 0 minus 4y equals negative 4, which means basically negative 4y equals negative 4, because the 0 kind of goes away. Just divide by negative 4 on both sides. Y is equal to negative 4 divided by negative 4 is positive 1. So your y-intercept is positive 1. What is the point then? The point should be 0, positive 1 for your y-intercept. Okay? Y-intercept. So that is our answer there. All right, over here, negative x plus 3y equals 3. X-intercept, like I said earlier, y is equal to 0. Okay, with x-intercept, y is equal to 0. So in this equation, I'm going to replace y. Negative x plus 3 times 0 equals 3. Okay, that kind of goes away because it becomes 0. Negative x is equal to positive 3. Okay, so in this situation, you divide by negative 1 because it's a negative x. You divide by negative 1. X is going to be equal to negative 3 because 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. So your x-intercept, the point, okay, it depends. Like I said on Alex, they might just say negative 3 is the answer, but the point would be negative 3. Y is always 0 for x-intercept. Let's go now to your y-intercept. Y-intercept, we said x is equal to 0. So in this equation, it'd be negative 0 in place of x plus 3y equals 3. 0 kind of goes away. 3y equals 3. Divide by 3 on both sides. Y equals to 3 divided by 3, which is 1. Okay, so your y-intercept here is 0 and then 1. That's the point. So they may ask you for just y equals 1, but 0, 1 is the point on your graph where it's the y-intercept. Okay. Find the x-intercept and y-intercept again. X-intercept, of course, y is equal to 0. Y-intercept, of course, x is equal to 0. So we're going to replace here. X-intercept, you're going to say 6x plus 9 times 0 equals negative 10. Okay. Kind of goes away. This becomes 6x equals negative 10. Divide by 6 on both sides. Looks like it's going to be a fraction, which is fine. X is equal to, let's put that in our calculator. We get negative 10. Okay, so negative 10. Now, instead of putting divided by, like the division sign, I'm going to use this A, B, C. I usually use this when I want my answer to be a fraction. Okay, you can just do 10 divided by 6, and it probably will become a decimal. See how that's a big decimal? I want my answer just to become a fraction, a simplified fraction, negative 10. And instead of doing divide, right above the sign key is an ABC. I'm going to push that. It's going to give me like a little backwards L. And then when I push 6, it gives me my answer as a mixed number, negative 1 2/3. But I want my answer as an improper fraction. So push second, and then that ABC again. It gives you something kind of weird looking. But when you push it, look, it gives you your answer as a simplified fraction. Okay, it's improper because the bigger number's up top, but that's fine. Negative 5/3 is our fraction there. Once we simplify, basically divided both top and bottom by 2. And we got negative 5/3. Okay, so our point for your x-intercept would be negative 5/3, and of course 0 for your y. Same thing here. 6 in place of x, I'm putting 0, plus 9, y equals negative 10. Goes away. 9y equals negative 10, divide by 9 on both sides, okay? Y equals negative 10 over 9, which it doesn't simplify. And for your y-intercept, 0 for x, negative 10 over 9 for y, because that's your y-intercept. Okay? So your answer can come out as a fraction. All right, so here it's kind of small, but again, if you print it out, you can see it says graph the line whose y-intercept is 1 and whose x-intercept is negative 4. So remember, this is your x and your y is here. So if it says y-intercept is 1, on your y, you just go to positive 1. That's the point. X-intercept is negative 4. At negative 4, on your x, you put a point. That's what your graph would basically look like. Those 2 points. Okay. All right. So last page here. Okay. Graph the line whose y-intercept is negative 4. So y is here, x is here. Y-intercept is this line here. At negative 4, you'll put a dot on your y. And x-intercept is positive 3. Positive 3, you'll put a dot there. And then you just connect them. Okay? That's how you graph it. Now, it says the equation line is given below. Find the x-intercept and y-intercept and then use them to graph on this line, on this graph. Okay? So we know how to do x-intercept. X-intercept, we make y equals 0. So we have this equation here. 3x minus 5 times 0 equals negative 15. It makes this kind of go away. 3x equals negative 15. Divide by 3 on both sides. X equals negative 15 divided by 3, negative 5. So the point would be negative 5, 0. That would be the point on here on our line. Negative 5, 0. So on the x, we just go to negative 5, 0, which is right here. Okay, negative 5 on your x-intercept, because that's your x-intercept. For y-intercept now, you make x equal 0, like we've been doing. So it becomes 3 times 0 minus 5y equals negative 15. Cancels out there. Negative 5y equals negative 15. Divide by negative 5 on both sides. Get your y by itself. Y is equal to negative 15 divided by negative 5, which is positive 3. So your y-intercept is 0, positive 3. So of course, you're on your y-axis for your y-intercept. So go up to positive 3, and that is your answer. Okay? So then draw a line. And that's what they want you to do for that one. All right, so this is the last one, same thing. We are going to, for the x-intercept, make y equals 0. Y-intercept, make x equals 0. Okay, so 5x plus 4 times 0 equals negative 20. Looks like that cancels out. 5x equals negative 20. Divide 5 on both sides. X is going to be equal to negative 4. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. And of course, that's on our x, for our x-intercept. So x is negative 4. You're going to put a dot there. Okay. For your y-intercept, you're going to make x 0. Okay. And then that kind of goes away because it becomes 0. And this is 4y equals 20. I don't know why I had 0 right here. I had 0 right here, but it's 20. And then divide by 4 on both sides. We get y is equal to, it's actually, what, negative 20. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with me. All right, negative 5. Okay? Because that's negative 20. Of course, looking at our original problem, because you're using this original problem here. And that becomes negative 5. So negative 5 And then, so our answer or our graph looks like that, okay, once we connect the dots. And that is Unit 5, Day 3 notes.